Welcome back, everybody. This is the Handyman Business YouTube channel. It's been several months. It's been a long time since we've talked on this channel. But we're dusting it off in the new year, getting ready for the Jobber Summit. I'll talk more about that later. Anybody who is in the home services industry is going to be attending it, and it gets everybody thinking about optimizing their business again. Thought it'd be a good time to come back on YouTube and discuss a couple different topics. We got a question that came in through Patreon from an electrician who is about 3 years in his apprenticeship. He's preparing to take his journeyman's test and wants to know how he can leave his job as an electrician and go be a handyman. It's very close to how I started. As an electrician, looking at my career path as an electrician, apprentice, journeyman, master, then own business. I decided to take a different path that didn't include, or at least I thought my career path was not going to include, manual labor. I went to college, got a bachelor's degree in construction management instead of owning an electrical company and chasing that career path. This guy didn't mention any interest in going to college. And here is my recommendation. You already have a marketable skill set. Start now. Side jobs. The type of jobs you're looking for: small finished basements, small additions, a garage, a workshop, some service calls, simple things you've seen me do a gazillion times on the main YouTube channel: installing ceiling fans, smart ceiling fans, smart light fixtures. Now, he didn't specify if it was commercial or residential work that he's doing. A 1-year apprentice doing residential construction and remodel is pretty much all you need for your training to go out on your own. Some people would give me a little bit of pushback on there. I would stretch it out to 2 years. You definitely have enough. But that does depend on what type of work you were doing. I was doing a mixture of about 75% new construction, roughing, trimming every single day, pulling wire, roughing and trimming. And then another 25% was remodeling old houses, like around that 100-year-old to 80-year-old range. The city that we worked out of didn't allow new construction. You couldn't build a new house. You couldn't tear down an old house and build a new one. There was no land to build new houses. You had to go outside the county. So these old houses that were in prime locations and larger lots, they came up, back when houses had larger lots with small houses. You could have almost a third of an acre, but you had a small ranch house on there. And what you would have to do is pop the top, put on massive additions, leave like 2 existing walls standing, and then build an entire house around those 2 walls. There was a lot of ways to get around not building a new house. But that gave me a lot of experience on remodel and fishing wires and working with old electrical systems. So if you got 2 years, you can start going doing your side jobs. I highly recommend it. Word of mouth advertising is how you're going to do it. You're going to see me jump in and out wearing different clothes during this video. On these business videos, when I'm going through the editing process, I'm always thinking things that I could say to clarify or add some value to what I was talking about. I've already said he's got this great skill set. He's going to be getting into customers' homes. He's going to be doing a quality job. The next progression into having more depth to your skill set is learning drywall repairs. Electricians put holes in walls. And if you're an electrician that can properly cut a hole and repair your own holes, you just added another skill set that you can sell. That's how I got my start in being a drywall repair master. Another thing that I got a lot of experience in when I was doing my new construction is some light framing. Always had to put in blocking to get our light boxes centered. Okay, well, this is the center of the room. We look up, well, there's no framing up there. So we go out, grab some scrap wood, and do a little bit of framing. Now, obviously, that's not enough framing to get you to the point where you could build a house. You're on construction sites. You see what's going on. This stuff is not rocket science. Most of the people that build houses have an 8th grade education and use 2nd grade math. It's pretty easy stuff. All the skills that it takes to be a handyman or a home improvement professional is something that every man used to do on their own just a generation or two ago. Every man knew how to remodel his own bathroom or his own kitchen or build his own deck. That's how I was raised. My dad did all of those things. My grandfathers did all of those things. In case you're not familiar with Patreon, it's another platform where I upload extra videos, some behind-the-scene videos that go along with my main project videos. It's also the only place to get in touch with me. YouTube does not have a way to send a creator a message. Even with YouTube memberships, I don't think there's a way to send a message or email back and forth and have a conversation. I'll put a link down in the description to Patreon if you're interested in becoming a member. There's behind the scenes videos that are both business videos and project videos. I've said it a million times, keep the tattoos off your hands and your eyeballs. Learn to cut your own hair so that you always have nice haircut. I probably wouldn't have this giant manly mustache or one of them burly biker beards. If you look younger and you have the genetics to grow facial hair, have it nice, trimmed up, short, so you look like a professional blue-collar expert. The older you look, the more knowledge you have. Doesn't matter if it's true or not, just the way it looks. You should not be competing against other people. Your reputation should be so big and so positive that when you are recommended to a previous customer's friends or family, it's just a done deal. They call you up, when can you come? And they can pay, they can afford because of their relationship with your previous customers. Now, when you first get started out, I would be the yes man because you need to just get in front of as many people as possible until your network grows. You are going to have some customers that can't really afford what you hope to be worth in a couple years. And their line of recommendations might be at their income level, their socioeconomic level, and it can trap you. And sometimes you got to cut them loose because you need to get to that upper middle class customer base. Now, before you go trimming off your customers that can't afford you, you have to make sure you know what you're worth in your area. If you want to stay in business in a specific region for 20 plus years, you might have to have some lower paying customers that keep you busy. Over the years, customers come and go. You may have a few higher paying customers. You may have a few low paying customers. You may have a few medium paying customers. The only way to get rid of those low paying customers is if you can stay busy for years and years with the high paying customers. Just because you've done some work at a higher dollar figure or you've got a stretch of work working for some higher income earners that value your service at a higher level doesn't mean that that's going to last forever. I would much rather be able to go to work every day and earn money. You know, you're not going to have to take a loss, but some days you make a lot of money and some days you make a little bit of money, but at least you're making money. And it's way better than staying home and not making any money at all. So keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out which customers to keep or which customers to get rid of. If you've got customers that are hard to work with or a pain in the ass, they're gone. But if you've got some lower paying customers that will keep you busy and are easy to work with, and have passed your name to some other low paying customers, at least you've got options to go to work. There's no secret. I've been sponsored by Jobber for years. I've been using their products, promoting their products. I see their products in the field with other contractors in my area. I do recommend them. It is not step one. It's not even step two. I would say step one is just try to work. See if you can get customers. See if you can talk to them. Work on your communication skills. Don't worry about your LLC. So many people hire
a lawyer and get all the legal mumbo jumbo.
They spend all this money and they go buy a new computer or whatever. That's not step one. Step one is take the tools that you have and get into people's houses and work and make some money and work on the referrals. If you do it for 6 months, 8 months, a year, and things are going well, it's time to pay taxes. You know, I just used my social security number the first year or so. When I started making some decent money, livable money, I had to hire an accountant. because if you are paying taxes as just all earned income, it is painful. Painful. We're actually coming up on tax season here pretty quick. We got about 2 months until we got to pay taxes again. I'll probably put a video out specifically on that. But I recommend an S corporation. Getting that set up and getting an accountant that can manage all the extra business filings that need to be filed every year with the Secretary of State. And then it's time to really optimize your business. And keep in mind, I'm still talking about being self-employed. And that's where I would start to bring in a CRM app like Jobber. That basically manages your customers, brings you to another level of professionalism that they are used to dealing with in their own line of work. Because they're all going to be white-collar workers. Because blue-collar people can't afford you. The propaganda out on the internet that the electricians and the plumbers are making $300,000 a year is a lie. There is a very, very minute niche market of electricians and plumbers that make decent money. Most employed electricians and plumbers don't make that much money. Stick with the white collar people. They're much easier to work with. They've got lots of money. The Jobber Summit is coming up, I believe it's March 4th. There are 2 sessions, an early afternoon session and an evening session. I'll be in the evening session. I'm going to put out a full video on that, how to decide which specialty speakers to attend. There's the 2 main keynote speakers, the co-founder of Netflix and the founder and CEO of 1-800-GOT-JUNK. I see their trucks all over the place. I think those 2 guys are going to have a lot of valuable knowledge to give us. It is free. This whole Jobber Summit is free. You do not have to be a Jobber app user. You don't have to have the app on your phone. You just need to click the link in the description and get signed up for your spot at the summit. You're probably wondering, why can't I just go click on it? Well, you get to participate in these breakout groups, and there'll be like a whole bunch of chat rooms, but they're video chat rooms. And again, I'm going to talk more about this in a specific video because I do think it's mandatory free education. There is going to be some bullshitters in there and the specialty expert talkers. I've already reviewed some of them. It's a starting point for free information that pertains to the home services industry. Use the link in the description. Get signed up for your spot. March 4th. There's 2 different time slots. All that information is in the link. So for our electrician viewer or anybody else who's thinking of getting out of a specialty trade and into more a general home repair, home remodeling type business, start with what you know. Don't go out and invest in a whole bunch of unnecessary things until you know that you have a customer base that will sustain your workload and pay you forever. One thing I've always recommended is don't quit your day job. Do evenings, do weekends, do holidays for 6 months. See how many days you were able to work, see how much money you were able to generate, and more importantly, see if you can gain referrals. That's what's most important, is to have a full schedule. Maybe you will only have enough customers in an area to do side jobs and not enough to support you full time for 20 plus years. Think about that. Put your opinions and your comments down below. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.